Alright, so first up is going to be a 1963 $1 bill. Now this bill you see here on the reverse, the back of the bill looks pretty normal, but here on the front we see the reverse design upside down being printed on the front of the bill. So that is an inverted back to face offset error taking place on this bill, which will give it a lot of value. Now keep in mind throughout this video, some of these bills that I'm showing you, the condition will always affect the value as well. So not just the error on it, of course that's going to give it some value, but also the condition as well. This one is in very good condition, and that's why this $1 bill sold for over $2,500. That's right, $2,500. Moving on to a 1969 Federal Reserve note. Now this banknote here, you can see here on the right side of the bill, we have a paper jam error that took place when producing this $1 bill. Now because of that, this $1 bill here sold for over $700. So really cool there on the reverse as well. Awesome $1 bill. Now something like that, pretty major, someone's going to take it out of circulation very quickly. Kind of the same thing with this bill here. You know, this isn't something that you have to inspect very closely. It's got multiple errors on it. It's got a gutter fold, a cutting error, a huge fold over taking place on this bill. So a lot going on with this bill from 1977. And this bill sold for over $4,700. That's right, over $4,000 for this $1 bill, man. It just looks amazing. I couldn't imagine coming across something like this. If you ever do, you definitely need to get it graded by a grading company because that's how you're going to get the most out of something like this. Now we'll get more into some bills that you need to inspect very closely, some that you may pass up. Obviously this one here from 1981, this dollar bill is very noticeable type of error, you know, it's a fold over error, so it's very obvious. Something like this, you know, is very, very, very hard to find. That's why they are rare dollar bills. And this dollar bill again sold for over $4,000, another $4,000 bill. Here is a 1981. Now this one here, a little bit different. We have an additional overprint taking place. Now if you do not pay attention to your dollar bills, this may be one that you may miss and pass up. And you don't want to do that because this dollar bill sold for over $2,500. And here is why. Now if we look at both of the serial numbers there, you can see that there is an additional serial number on top of other numbers. So that is the additional overprint taking place there. So that is a really amazing banknote, man. Finding something like this would just be incredible. $2,500. Moving on to a 1985 $1 bill. Now this Federal Reserve note here, we see the error taking place on the reverse. Very noticeable. We have all that missing ink printed area there, and that's why this dollar bill sold for over $2,000, and of course because it's in very good condition. Next up is a 1985 Federal Reserve note. Now this one here, you see on the front, looks very normal, but here on the back of the bill, we have an insufficient inking error. Now this one isn't super valuable, it is in very good condition though, but the bill only sold for around $100. I'm not going to say only because that's a lot for a $1 bill, but you know, a lot less compared to, you know, a $4,000 bill. Alright, next up, now we've talked about this in some of my other currency videos, you know, double face printing error taking place. It almost looks like it's 3D, three-dimensional, as we see here on the front of the dollar bill. And this dollar bill from 1988 sold for over $3,700, so over $3,000. Next up is another 1988 $1 bill. Now this Federal Reserve note here has the error taking place on the reverse, the back of the bill, and we see that face to back dark offset taking place here. And that is a very, very noticeable type of error. Of course, that's why you always want to check both sides of your bills. Now, this one didn't sell really for too much money, only around $100 for this bill. So, you know, the better the condition, you know, the more that they're going to sell for. This one's in pretty decent shape as well. So, only $100 for that one. Now, moving on to a star note. We've talked about star notes a lot and, you know, other videos, so definitely check those other videos out. I hate to keep repeating myself on that, but you guys gotta check those out, man. We got some really cool videos here on the channel. So we see that star there at the end of the serial number. Now, you know, a lot of star notes are gonna be very common, but in this case, what's going to make it valuable is two things, really. Well, maybe three. So the condition, it's in very, very good condition. We got a star note, which star notes, you know, like I say, some of them, a lot of them are very common. You know, they're not going to be really worth much more than face value. But in this case, we have a mismatched serial number. So you see here on the left side, this one starts with 114, and on the right side, it starts with 004. Now those numbers are always supposed to be matching. If they are not, then you could be talking some money, because any mismatched serial numbers are going to sell. So this dollar bill sold for over $4,700. Again, another dollar bill selling for over $4,000. Just incredible. Now here is a 1993 Federal Reserve note, and it's got a shifted face printing error taking place, and we can see that here in the image displayed on the front of the bill. We see that the design here is not printed where it is supposed to be printed on the bill. So, you know, it's kind of almost, you know, like on coins, kind of reminds me of like, you know, an off-center error in a way. So a shifted face printing error. It's also a star note, which is pretty cool, and this $1 bill sold for over $860. So that taking place on a star note, really awesome. Here is a $1 bill. Now this type of error is, you know, one of my favorite types of errors. So we're missing the seals and the serial numbers here on the front of the bill, very noticeable there. And then here on the back is where we see those seals and serial numbers, which is just amazing, man. Something like this, it would be like hitting the lottery coming across something like this. This dollar bill sold for over $4,000, sticking in that $4,000 range. Now here is another bill. It's kind of similar, but we got a misaligned overprint taking place here on the front of the bill. So you see those seals and serial numbers. Very noticeable again when you're going through dollar bills. You know something like this is obviously going to catch your eye. So this dollar bill again sold for over $3,800, nearly a $4,000 bill. Now here is a 2006. Wanted to throw a little more modern dollar bill in here. Again, we have a star note, and again, what we explained with the mismatched serial number. This starts with the 067 here on the left side, 267. So the 0 and 2 are mismatched. Now that mismatch can take place on any number in the serial number. So make sure you guys inspect the numbers very, very closely and make sure all of them match. If they don't match, then again, you could be onto something very good. So be in a star note, be in good condition, be in mismatched serial number, gonna give it a lot of value. Again, $3,800 for this one also. Now this one is really awesome. Too bad it didn't sell for too much money. It only sold for around 75 bucks. It's a 1995 Federal Reserve note. It's got an offset printing error, and you see that. You see the reverse design coming through here on the front of the bill there at the top. And then here on the back, looks pretty normal. So like I said, 75 bucks for that one. Now this one here is really cool. This might be my favorite of the video. I really do like this one. It's a 1995 Federal Reserve notes. This dollar bill has an over-inking error, and we can see that taking place there on the seal on the left side of the dollar bill from 1995. Now, this $1 bill sold for over $150. Keep in mind it is in very good condition as well, so that will play a factor in its value. Alright, the 1999 Federal Reserve notes. Now this has a fold-over error as well. We see that here on the right side of the bill, so check that out. We have that little strip there from that fold-over taking place. So it's in really good condition as well, so that gives it value. This dollar bill sold for a little over $90. Next up, now this one is very, very unique, a 1999 dollar bill. We see here on the front that the seals, the serial numbers, all of that printing is completely missing. Now here on the back is where those seals and serial numbers are. Now it's a shame that someone wrote on this bill, you see it's in Spanish, someone wrote on this bill with a pen. You know, had they had not done that, it would have probably sold, it would have sold for, you know, much more money. but this bill is still super unique. I absolutely love these types of errors like this. This dollar bill sold for over $1,700 even in this condition. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.